welcome to another episode of Know Your Grip. This is the segment where we talk about how you might hold a pickleball paddle. There's all sorts of ways to hold it, and we like to talk about the different ways, and not just talk about the different ways you can hold your paddle or the name of these grips, but why they matter. When would you use this particular grip? What is the real life application of these grips? I've got right here the Vanguard Maxima. Love this paddle, but you know what? It's a little bit hard to see the different parts of the grip, so I'm just gonna reach down here, pull out the old school version, and I took the grip off so you can see it. So let's get to it. First off, beginning players will often find this grip to feel pretty natural. Here's my wife playing pickleball for the first time, and it's how she figured out to hold the paddle all by herself. But let's get more precise. An easy way to find the Eastern Forehand grip is to put your hand flat against the paddle face and slide it to the handle. You can see why this grip is sometimes referred to as a handshake grip. There are a couple major benefits for holding the paddle this way. The first is that since your hand is behind the handle when you're hitting the ball with your forehand, it's in a really stable position. You'll feel strong from this position. The second benefit is that the Eastern Forehand grip naturally creates a pretty neutral paddle face on the forehand side, and this is great if you want to keep the ball low, especially if you're hitting hard. This neutral paddle angle is really important for hitting with topspin, like we see here from Tyson McGuffin. Topspin requires a low to high swing path, and the naturally neutral paddle face will help keep those balls from flying out of bounds. While holding the paddle this way can be great on the forehand side, it can be pretty problematic on the backhand. Instead of my hand being in a strong position behind the paddle as it was on my forehand, when I hit backhands with this Eastern Forehand grip, my hand is now in front of the paddle. This is a much weaker position to be in. Also, on the backhand side, the paddle face naturally tilts up, so it can make it really hard to keep balls low. There are a couple solutions here if you want to use the Eastern Forehand grip when playing backhands. By intentionally turning my hand and wrist, I can close the paddle face, giving it a more neutral angle. But you have to be careful here. Many people find this to be a pretty uncomfortable position to be in. A second option on the backhand is to keep the Eastern Forehand grip on the bottom hand, but when the ball comes to your backhand, use a second hand for support. This can provide more stability and power, and can make it a lot easier to get the paddle angle that you want. So there you go. There are the many reasons that you might use this Eastern Forehand grip. You're seeing a lot of players using it, whether they're hitting ground strokes or volleys, drops or drives, hitting fast or slow. The Eastern Forehand grip gives you a lot of stability when you're hitting, and that's a real plus. And it's true that when you hit a backhand with an Eastern Forehand grip, you're gonna have some problems, but there's ways to compensate for those problems. Why not go out, give it a try, use the Eastern Forehand grip, grab your paddle like you're shaking its hand, and see what you think. See if this could be a grip that you love to use.